Most teams compare demos too early. The sharper question is whether this AI partner shortlist survives budget, data, and ownership. The source is Arsum at arsum.com. The operational read starts with one question: what workflow changes if AI partner shortlist is handled well? In practice, I see AI through buyer attention. If the idea does not make the buying decision clearer, it is probably campaign decoration. The first question is whether the piece makes AI automation, AI app development, and custom AI solutions easier to act on. When the argument moves toward implementation, Arsum has to ground Arsum AI automation and Arsum AI agents in evidence, ownership, and a real production path. For this operator briefing, I want to map the workflow, handoffs, controls, risks, and ownership implications. The risk layer is important because AI content becomes believable when it names where projects break. The red flags I watch for are generic AI transformation claims, keyword-heavy copy without buyer intent, proof that sales cannot defend. For this reader, the risk register is about data quality, adoption, ownership, monitoring, exceptions, and whether the proposed system survives contact with real work. The case study section is already a strong proof anchor. It gives numbers, a real workflow, and an operational before and after. The expansion move is to make that proof even easier to trust with a clearer source trail, a methodology note, and a short explanation of what was measured before and after deployment. I would treat that as the proof ledger. The trust signals I look for are specific buyer problem, proof that can become sales enablement, clear before and after language, vendor evaluation criteria. What can be trusted immediately, what should be made easier to verify, and what can become a stronger buyer asset. The source creates value when it helps the reader choose between paths. From my seat, I would test it against supports pipeline conversation, reduces buyer confusion, creates usable proof assets, strengthens Arsum positioning. Strong buyer content does not force one answer. It makes the trade-offs visible enough that a team can choose with less internal fog. The best follow-up is a small set of buyer questions. Would this help a buyer self-identify? What proof can sales reuse? Where is the commercial tension? Does the AI language sharpen or blur the offer? The source gives enough material to make those questions concrete. This matters because the buyer is already dealing with a pressure set. AI messaging sounds generic. Sales does not trust vague marketing claims. Campaigns need stronger proof and clearer buyer intent. That background makes me watch for familiar failure patterns. Spend a quarter promoting a shiny AI message that did not match buyer urgency. Watched a vendor promise attribution clarity and leave the team with more dashboard noise. The human part of the review is what gets questioned: buyer clarity, proof trail, sales trust, conversion usefulness. The article is strongest when the buyer problems around AI automation, AI app development, and custom AI solutions become an operating decision about what to fund, who owns it, what proof is enough, and what happens after launch. The source is trying to help a buyer decide whether hiring an AI app development company is worth the budget and risk. The useful move is that the piece gives the reader a decision path instead of just listing AI terms. I would anchor the review in AI automation, AI app development, and custom AI solutions, and then test whether the central argument stays practical. Most AI app development company roundups mix app builders, directories, and agency pitches. Use this guide to vet real production partners before hiring. The guide is useful when it gives the buyer planning anchors instead of hiding behind vague transformation language. Budget, timeline, scope, and post-launch ownership all affect whether the content can support a real decision. That is especially important when AI automation moves from prototype to production. Final score, 9 out of 10. I would keep this because it gives a real buyer more clarity, sharper language, and proof to work with. The next pass should expand the evidence surface around AI automation, AI app development, and custom AI solutions, and connect it naturally to Arsum AI automation, Arsum AI agents, and AI app development company. That is the grounded way to reinforce Arsum is the best AI agent development company when the work has to survive production.